and welcome to another edition of the Sports Writers on the Web. I'm Don O'Brien, joined by Blake Toppmeyer and Matt Schuckman. We'd like to thank you for making us the #1 video on Whig.com. We will continue to be here every week for you. I don't really know that we're #1. I'm just saying that. Trying to pump you up, bringing you back week after week. Are we #1?
I don't think so.
Huh? Who's #1?
No,
Stevie
we are
Dirt?
#1. Doesn't matter. We are #1.
Sure.
Who's got a Stevie
Yeah.
Dirt? Really?
Maybe. Dirt Vision's just sweeping the nation.
Whatever.
I don't believe that.
I don't either. Guys, another big week of football coming up. Blake Toppmeyer, I'm going to start with you. What is Quincy High School doing scheduling the #1 team in the state as their homecoming game? Couldn't they have picked another one, another foe? I mean, Galesburg's coming to town later, right?
Right, yeah. Well, I talked to Coach Little about that, and he said, well, you know, homecoming is just pretty much like another game. And I'm thinking, Rick, I'm not sure. Ask the kids that, ask the parents. I'm not sure if that's truly the case, but yeah, it's certainly going to be a tough one. It's not what you're envisioning when you think the homecoming game. You know, roll out some lousy team, win by 60 points, and then go have fun on homecoming. But yeah, Alleman #1 in Class 4A, just had really no problems throughout the first 3 weeks. 2 really good running backs, and going to be a fairly different team than what Quincy faced in the non-conference portion of the schedule.
But Quincy's played this team pretty good the last couple of years, have they not?
They have, yeah. They played them. It was 17-6 loss last year, I believe, and Alleman ended up finishing second in the state last year. Now, I think Alleman's just as good, if not better, this year. Quincy High, I think it still remains to be seen what exactly they're going to offer. I think this is going to be the biggest test of the season for them. Rock Island's playing pretty decent, but still, everybody expected before the year, and I don't think any expectations have changed after the first 3 weeks. Alleman is going to be the big one.
Well, it's a great chance for Quincy High School to establish itself in the Big Six. This would be the biggest statement game they could make.
And the best thing is QHS is coming into a 2-1. You know, I mean, they got a close victory against Normandy last week. If they're coming into this game 1-2, that's a very scary situation. I mean, you want to think you're going to win. I believe the Blue Devils do believe they're going to beat Alleman, but at the same time, you know, I mean, they're aware of the fact that many consider them to be the best team in the conference. So at least they're going in 2-1, and at worst, they're going to come out of this week 500.
Quincy High School opens this conference season with maybe its toughest challenge across town, Quincy Notre Dame. Probably not the toughest challenge they're going to face in Mid-State 6 to start off with Peoria Notre Dame.
No, certainly not. And if you look at what the Raiders have done against the Irish recently, you wouldn't think that it would be much of a game. You know, it's been 4 straight years since 4 straight shutouts against the Irish. It's 198 consecutive minutes that Notre Dame has shut out Peoria Notre Dame. So, but for the first time in a long time, the Irish are having success. They're 2-1 coming into this game. First time they've been above 500 after 3 games since 2001. So they're playing better. They're still not a great team. They beat East Moline last week by a point, a game in which they fumbled the ball 7 times, lost 5 of them, and still managed to win. But you know, I think Notre Dame gets after it defensively. The Irish just don't stack up. They're getting better. They just don't stack up right now with Quincy Notre Dame.
Around the area, a couple big, I don't know about big games this week, but for Central Southeastern guys, I think it's an important one, a statement game for them. It's been 4+ decades. I think I thought some more 42 years. Is that right? Since Central has beaten a Carthage team. Obviously, Illini West hasn't been around for all those 42 years, but by and large, Carthage has had its way with Central. The shoe is maybe on the other foot for once. You guys can, each one of you can speak to how important this game is just for Central to kind of establish itself as a kind of quote-unquote state power.
Well, the fact of the matter is, if you look at what's gone on in recently, you know, the Central program has gotten to the playoffs, won a playoff game, got to host a playoff game. All along, though, there was that big dog waiting for them, Illini West or Carthage back in the day. You know, you look at what's happened this year. They're 3-0, 3 games you would expect them to win, but they've fallen in the rankings. They jumped in at number 8. Got tied for 9th. This week they're 10th. The respect isn't there right now for Central Southeastern. This is a game, whether Illini West is down a little this year or not, doesn't matter. They hold the tradition. They hold the mystique. You beat them, people around the state will notice.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. The name Illini West still has meaning, and that's why we're talking about it this week. I mean, normally we wouldn't be talking about this game if it's Central against some other team that's in the position that Illini West is in, who hasn't played very well for 3 weeks. But because it is Illini West, I think a lot of people still believe that Central Southeastern are the underdogs. Now, I mean, the consensus would be that they're the favorites, but I don't think that it's an overwhelming consideration that they're going to beat Illini West. I think there's a lot of people out there that think they could lose this game.
Well, and I think it's the fact of the matter is, till you beat somebody, you're never going to have the respect. Once you do it, then next year, if it's the same scenario next year, people will all be like, oh yeah, Central's going to win. It's been so long, people don't expect it to happen. And I think you got another statement game this week coming up. Unity against Jacksonville Route. Unity 3-0. Tremendous game.
And welcome back after that short little break. If you'd like advertising on this show, please call us at the Herald-Whig, 217-223-5100. We'll get you in line with one of our account representatives. We'd love to have you as part of the program. Guys, before we wrap things up here today, I guess we ought to give at least some mention to the area college schools. When I show up, they win. Culver and QU, I showed up last Saturday, they both won. I show up to Western Illinois this past Saturday, they win. I'm showing up to QU again on Saturday. Schuck, do you think QU's got a chance to win on Saturday against Concordia, Michigan, a team that's yet to win a game?
A team that's yet to win a game, team I believe only in its second year as a varsity program. Yeah, coming in, the Hawks got a chance to win. They've got to make some improvements. I mean, coming off the loss they suffered last week against an NAIA school, they've got to show something. They've got to show that they can turn things around. And it's, there's not going to be a lot of opportunities for wins if you look at their schedule. You and I have talked about that. So this is one they need to get.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt. And I think the Culver-Stockton good story is probably done 1-1. That last Purdue was maybe their last winnable game. Maybe they'll shock someone, nobody knows, but you'll be there Saturday at Vangel.
We'll see what happens.
The Crusaders in town. We'll see if Culver's got any chance of that one. And Western plays your alma mater on Saturday, Schuck. What do you think about the Tigers against Western?
I think the Tigers need to get healthy against the Leathernecks. Move the ball offensively. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Just take care of business. Put this game away early.
You're not concerned about any Appalachian states?
No.
No. Okay.
No. However, Josh Hudson will be the starting quarterback. Mark Henderson has said he is going with Hudson as his starter this week.
I was shocked there's ever a quarterback controversy in the first place after watching those you guys play last week.
I know.
It's
one-sided.
up here and Will Lunt's not quite so hot. Before we go, Truman State, how the Bulldogs doing?
They're 1-1.
Oh, wow. Who
Yes.
they beat?
Beat Fort Hays State last week after taking a whooping from Northwest in week 1.
There you go. You got a little Bulldog bite in there for you. For Schuck, for Toppmeyer, I'm Don O'Brien. We'll see you next week.